and welcome to my channel. I am here with my Zutter Bow It All, and a subscriber reached out to me and asked me if I would show her how I make my bows, as well as how the vintage Goose is making the rosettes. She couldn't quite figure it out on hers. And also BeadyBomBom who is Elizabeth, has a tutorial if you don't have a bow at all, and I will link their channels in the description box below, but I'm sure most of you know who they are. It starts at 1/4 inch and I have it at 2 inches. So I'll do a close-up here if you can see that. So this one starts at 1/4 and I have it at 2. The back is starting at 0 and ending at 2.5. Excuse me. Always start on my left hand side in the back, just wrap it around the front. I'm going to cross over to the back and around and over to the back, and now I'll cut my ribbon, and I'm just bringing this around. You can see the back piece, bringing this around into the front, and then I do just take the back piece over to the right, bring it around, and I'm just pulling it through the hole that I've made. And then you just pull that tight, and you can slide it around till you pull it tight, and then there's you a single bow. And of course you can make these as small as you want or as large as you want. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you how to do the rosette like the vintage Goose, and as I said earlier, BeadyBomBom Elizabeth has one where she does not use the bow at all. So move some of these lights out of the way so it's not reflecting. And I have, my seam binding by the tail, and I usually just work with my seam binding until I get ready to do the tail, and I have my scissors beside me and just trim the tail off. So I've got a hold of this, and what we're going to do is it's like a figure 8 motion around the pegs, and we're going to do that 5 times on each peg. So I have a hold of it on the left hand. I'm going to start in the back, wrap around to the front, go to the back of the other peg, wrap around to the front, cross over to the back. See how it's making a figure 8? We're going to wrap around the front, cross to the back, wrap around the front, cross to the back, wrap around the front, and cross to the back, wrap around the front, cross to the back, around the front, back, front, cross over, and I do believe this is our 5th one. So wrap around, cross over, wrap around, and then I'm going to cross over and so we will take this, and here's the back, I'm just wrapping it over, coming around to the front, and just making a knot. And it did take me a while to get the hang of the bow at all, but if you just practice, keep practicing, you will get it. And make sure you get that good and tight, and take it off because you've got so many layers, and then just fluff it up, and you should have your rosette. I can get them apart. There we go. So that's how you make a rosette. My favorite bow that I make is a double layer bow, and I always put 3 loops in the back and 2 loops in the front. And I have my pegs set at 0, and I will put it at 2.5, and my front pegs are at 1/4, and this one is at 2 inches. And these are the sizes that usually work, I would say, for me most of the time when I'm crafting. So once again, we're going to start in the back. Make sure you leave enough for your tail. You can always trim off, but it's easier to trim off than try to add more. So we're going to wrap around this peg, and we're going to cross over to the back and go to the back of this peg, wrap around the front, and go in between the pegs, and then I'm going to wrap around this front one, and I'm going to come and go to the back of the front one. So I've crossed behind this one. I'm going to wrap around the front, and I'm going to go all the way to the back. Let me slide this down since I'm showing. I'm trying to keep my hands free and it's wanting to pull up. So I'm going to, in the back, wrap around the front, and then we're going to cross over and go to the very back peg and come in between and wrap around this peg, the front one, and then I want to wrap behind the other front peg, like so. So here we are, we're right here. We're going to wrap around the front. I'm going to cross over, go all the way to the back, and wrap around your back peg, and then you're going to bring it over to the other back peg and wrap around the back and go to the front of that back peg. And now I'm just going to trim off a piece, or trim off so I can do my tails, and take this one on the right, and the right fingers, wrap around the back piece that's in your left, come around, come up the front, wrap around, and then this back piece, I'm bringing it over to the left, and I'm taking the top piece, I'm wrapping around the back piece, and then that creates a hole to slide the tail through, and then you just pull it tight. Make sure you get your bow center where you want it. Okay, and then you just slide it off, and there's your bow. And you can pull these over just a little bit to get them even. I absolutely love my bow maker. I've used it for many years. So I hope this helps you in making your bows with your Zutter Bow It All.